Well, hi, everybody. This is Steve D9 Games. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. One, adventuring life meter roles. I know it's in the PDF. I know it's defined fairly well, but I wanted to give kind of the purpose behind it. Also, off-season. So let's start with adventuring life meter roles. So the idea is to kind of put a timer on the campaign, which could be controversial. I know a lot of people like to just campaign on for eternity, but in my opinion, it's nice to kind of cut the cord at some point and say, hey, that was a great campaign. Your fighters and your wizards and your druids and whatever, your group just really became heroes and saved the world. But then it's time to start anew, right? So in our group, in our campaign, and the way I like to run it personally, not everybody needs to do this because, of course, the Enlightened system is designed to be custom and however you want to run it. But the way I like to do it is, let's see what you can do between 0 and 1,000 points of progression. And you can move past that if you succeed on your adventuring life meter rolls. But the idea is you grow old, or not necessarily old, like 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm 54. I guess I'm old. But the idea is adventuring old. So like you think of a pro athlete who, when they hit 30, maybe 40, they're a little bit out of their prime. So at some point they move on. So the adventuring life meter rolls begin at 1,000 points of progression. So it's really about level 10, and you start rolling versus your physical, your coordination, and your mental. And you basically make these rolls, and like it explains in the PDF, one of them you can choose to make it ease, one of them is a standard roll, and one of them you roll with difficulty. And the exciting thing is let's say you fail all your rolls. Well, it's recommended if you fail all your rolls to go ahead and retire and drop a new character. But let's say you fail at 2 of your rolls. Well, let's say you fail by 3 and your physical score was 10. Well, now your physical score is 7 and it's frozen there, which makes all your targets an 11 for physical challenges. So it just really adds a little excitement and challenge, because from my experience with TTRPGs at a high level, it's, in my opinion, maybe I'm running it wrong, gets a little boring because everybody just hack and slashes through all your challenges. And this adventuring life meter option or segment of the Enlightened system makes it an exciting challenge. So I wanted to throw that out there. And at that level, you might be so skilled that you're not going to fail any of your rolls, and you can adventure on. And then you can do more of an organic new campaign setup. You can say, hey, we succeeded at this campaign. We are heroes. We live in a castle. We protect the land. And then we start a new campaign with new characters. But anyway, that's the purpose and some of the reason behind the adventuring life meter rolls for the Enlightened system. The other thing is the off seasons. So I'm real excited about off seasons. What the purpose of those is sometimes you'll take an injury that breaks a bone or causes a major wound that a long rest isn't just going to handle. So what you do is you say, you know what, we're just not going to make it through a long rest. We're going to be too haggard. Well, let's take an off season. And then, of course, the off-season progresses the game into another season. Of course, you move closer to those adventuring life meter rolls, and it's a bit of a campaign timer, if you will. So off-seasons, of course, in off-seasons, you can turn your enlightenments into bona fide talents. Maybe you rolled double 9 when you were leaping across a cavern and throwing your dagger at the enemy and stabbing him in the heart. Yay, double 9, you just killed him. And then in the off season, you've learned how to do this jump and throw, and you've created a custom talent for yourself. So that's the purpose of the off seasons, to ice those. Also, You can work on new talents, new skills. You can make some rolls. I think the mage gets to roll versus their mental target score to see if they can gain another, which we call tier 0 spells. It's kind of like a cantrip. But anyway, off seasons can be pretty exciting because I do know that people like to hang out in town and buy things and do things that could be boring during gameplay. Because at the table, you're just going to want to go around the horn, simple turn order, and give everybody a lot of playtime and action and combat and role-play and adventure. But the off seasons really take place in between nights of gameplay. So we play on Tuesday night, and then between Tuesday night to the next Tuesday night, you can kind of fill in the blanks as to what you took care of during your off season, if there was an off season at that time. So that's it. The other thing about off seasons, if your group decides to take one prior to one of your characters acquiring 50 points of aggression, it becomes a dangerous off season, because you can off season rather quickly and you can keep advancing. But if you off season too quickly, enough of the evil in the world was not taken care of. So you're going to start back up the following week, same campaign. You took an early off season and there's more danger to have to deal with, which can be exciting, but there is a consequence to taking the early off season and leveling up too soon. But if you gain 50 points of progression, at least one of the characters in the group, then the off season is more peaceful and you're able to roll back into the next season, whether it be spring, summer, winter, or fall, with less danger in the world. And in our world, it's Albion, 300 BC, England. All right. I hope you learned a little bit about the Adventuring Life meter rolls and the off season. Until next time, peace.